Hi. All right. So, it's a beautiful day. I've decided to come outside and sit in the sunshine. It's very windy. And I was late getting on because when I got outside, I noticed that my chickens were running around the yard, and they're not usually free to roam, but that's okay. They needed their freedom. The wind had blown the chicken coop door open, so I was like, all right, whatever. Oh, and now it's gonna blow over my phone. Okay, there we go. I think I got it nice and tight in there. Sweet. So hi guys, how's it going? I'm just gonna get this reinforced. There we go. Now you can see all of me. There we go. Sweet. Okay. So today I brought out my new deck of cards, which are Osho Zen Tarot. I got this weekend at the expo. I'm a co-creator of a health and wellness expo in our area, and we just had it this last weekend. And lucky for me, I got to have a booth and I got to meet some wonderful people. And MJ Dommett, my good friend from Alberta, came out, writer, author, fellow creator of Oracle Talk Radio. And so that was pretty special. So today I wanted to talk about enlightenment and spiritual growth, because I'm seeing so many people struggle, and they're struggling because they're going beyond their comfort zone. They're struggling because of fear holding them back. And what I'm noticing is that most people think to be enlightened and to be, Zen and all-knowing and at one with the divine, that getting there is all rainbows and butterflies. And the truth is that it is not all rainbows and butterflies, or we would all do it. It's actually quite a journey of expansion, retraction, expansion, retraction. And so what happens is we go against what's comfortable, and when we break through it, or that barrier, we expand, because we've broken that barrier and we've stepped out of our comfort zone. And that's the fear that holds us back, and our ego. So I've noticed clients and some of my students experiencing this. My apologies for the wind. And I've also noticed that once they actually embrace their fear, once they embrace the uncomfortableness of it all, then it releases. Then it absolutely lets go. And I can speak for myself. I have had to step out and become seen on the internet by making these videos. And at first I had anxiety. I had to look perfect. I had to have the perfect, setup. And in the end, now I've gotten more comfortable with it, so now it's easy. Now I didn't hardly prepare. I was on the phone before I came out here to do this. And you know what? You guys just want to see me, who I am, and who the real me is. And so here I am in my backyard. This is me. But I had to go through that total uncomfortable feeling. And so today I wanted to talk about enlightenment, because we're all moving through shit that we have to let go of. And we all cling to things. We hold on tight to things that aren't serving us, whether it's friendships, business partners, ideas, belief systems that aren't serving us. Oh gosh, we can go on. And I want to focus on maybe what you're holding on to, maybe what you need to let go of in order to expand your knowledge, expand your wisdom, which is in you, but you have to remember. And maybe it'll help you in a relationship. Maybe it'll help you in life. So if you have any burning desires or questions or anything that you need help resolving in you, a relationship issue, anything in particular, please type in the comments and I will gladly give you a little mini reading. And we'll look at what is actually going on to cause you to have these views of limitations or views of blockages, which is really just what we put in our reality. And our ego really fights us, doesn't it? Our ego says, no, you can't do that. You'll never succeed. No, you can't do that. You'll fail. Oh man, our egos say so many things. My ego was like, oh, you can't go live on camera because what the hell are you going to say? They're not going to like your voice. I mean, hearing your voice is totally a challenge when you're not used to it. Some of you have experienced this. And I'll tell you, in the past month, it seems like every month I go through this retraction and like close up and then I expand, right? Because I break through. So, yeah, let us get to the heart, the root cause of maybe what's holding you back and what you need to look at or remove. Because it's always something so small when you have an outside perspective. When you have someone from outside of you who can ask you the proper questions, because we have to ask our bodies the questions as well. So today I said to my body, I said, body, what do you need? And you know what my body said? My body said sunshine, and look at it, sunny outside. So I came outside. I did run my dogs this morning, but it wasn't terribly sunny. So I think I'm moving somewhere sunny soon. Okay, so I'm going to pull a card because no one's asking any questions. And just for the record, I am a psychic empath, which means that I'm very intuitive. It's not all about telling the future. It's about helping you release things that aren't serving you. It's about getting down into the root of where your pain is or your fear is. It's about speaking to the guides, the angels, our ancestors, which are all around us, who can come in and who can guide you and share with you the knowledge that you may already know, but that you need to know more of. So that's what a psychic is, really. Yeah, so it's interesting. I've just done a poll. Maybe some of you have answered it. What word resonates more with people? And it seems to be intuition versus psychic. And I think psychic just has this, conjures up certain images in our minds, maybe from media or experiences, in our lives. So I'm very intuitive. And empathy means that I can feel deeply in other people's bodies. I can actually go in and find out sometimes medically what's happening, but mostly emotional. Oh, the sun has gone away. Now I'm cold. Okay, guys, come on, ask me your questions. I love to have your questions. I love to help you. I love to do this. So please do send me your questions. Okay, the card of the day from the new deck. Okay, I'll let you guys pull a card. Pretend you're pulling a card. Ripeness, which it's backwards. I still haven't figured out how to do that. It's not an iPhone. I still love my phone though. Okay, so I have to read the book because it's brand new deck. I'm still learning it. Ripeness. So, while I'm looking for the card, my question to you is to ask yourself, and you can share in the comments, what do I need to let go of to create greater expansion in my life? Hello, Chris. Okay. So, Chris, if you have... Oh, okay. If you have questions, write them in the comments. Okay. Ripeness. When the fruit is ripe, it drops from the tree by itself. And we're actually under one of my apple trees, which is really funny. I'm getting all these ding, ding, dings, so I just want to see if anyone's asked questions. Okay. One moment it hangs by a thread from the branches of the tree, bursting with juice. The next moment it falls, not because it has been forced to fall or has made the effort to jump, but because the tree has recognized its ripeness and simply let it go. Oh, okay, guys, come on. Letting it go card. This is interesting. Cards never lie, do they? When this card appears in a reading, it indicates that you are ready to share your inner riches. your juice. All you need to do is relax right where you are and be willing for it to happen. This sharing of yourself, this expression of your creativity can come in many ways, in your work, your relationship, your everyday life experiences. No special preparation or effort on your part is required. It is simply the right time. And see, when we hold tight to things, we cut off the circulation, we cut off our breath. So everyone take a deep breath. Absolutely, Amanda, I will pull a card for you. If you have a specific question, that would be great. I would prefer a specific question. So, this is the commentary, so now I'll read the physical. Only if your meditation has brought you a light that shines in every night will even death not be a death to you, but a door to the divine. With the light in your heart, death itself is transformed into a door, and you can enter to the universal spirit. You become one with the ocean. And unless you know the oceanic experience, you have lived in vain. Now is always the time, and the fruit is always ripe. You just need to gather the courage to enter into your inner forest. The fruit is always ripe, and the time is always the right time. There is no such thing as wrong time. I love it! I love it because, yes, we are all fruit. We're all juicy and delicious, and we have our sweetness, we have our bitter parts, we have our sour parts, and, you know, I think that when we're ready for things to happen, it's only fear that holds us back. So, Chris asked, am I a healer? Well, I don't have to pull a card for this. I believe that you are a healer, Chris. And the truth is that you just want validation. And I'm giving you validation today that you are a healer, but that you need to, or I suggest you work on healing yourself. And through that journey, what you experience, because most of us are wounded healers, through that experience, we learn from other teachers. We learn from other wise ones when we go to them for healing. They actually teach us so much. And you can take that wisdom and actually eventually create a practice and start working from the side. I see you doing possibly a card reading course. I'm a card reading teacher. That's no coincidence. Maybe some Reiki training. Maybe, yeah. So just follow your heart around that. Yeah, you know in your heart that this is the truth. I mean, do people constantly come up to you and tell you and spill all their guts, like, oh, all their like stuff, and then you walk away exhausted and drained because you're like, that person just verbal diarrheaed on me? Hi, Holly, how are you? I miss you, girl. Okay, so past lives card just came up. Interesting. Okay, so I have a feeling everyone watching right now is a healer. And thank you for the validation, Chris, that you are a healer, and there's past life healing that has to be done for you. That means that when you're a healer in this lifetime, you often are a healer in many lifetimes, and you haven't healed those lifetimes of being burned or persecuted for being a healer. And when we come into this life, we carry that. So we have to heal it. And often we're afraid to admit that we feel things, that we know things because of judgment and stigma. So all of you need to hear this today. So, past lives. Wonderful. Okay, so I see, Holly, you had a question. I'm wondering if my daughter has special spiritual gifts, and if so, what can I do? Well, Holly, you're her mom, and we all have the answers within us. So, let's do a little exercise, because everyone's questions are coming out, and all children are healers. Children are older than us because they've been in spirit longer than us, and then they come to us with more wisdom, right? So we're born, we come from spirit, we choose our parents, we choose our friends, we choose our lives, and we have so much to learn, right? This human experience. And then our children choose us, and they come to us, and they come to teach us so many wonderful things. They come to teach us to love, because first of all, they are love. They've just come straight from source. And if you suspect she's a healer, which I think she is, or has spiritual gifts, which we all do, I would recommend looking at what Doreen Virtue has out there, because she's got a lot on the crystal children, indigo children, and things like that. Okay, Holly? And then you'll kind of read up on their personalities and kind of understand, because she's so young, right? And to guide her, as parents, our guidance for our children is what we do in ourselves. So we are the example for them. So teaching them, oh, you've read that. Okay, great. So teaching them is showing example. So if you want to guide your children, you're going to teach them to love themselves by loving yourself, eating healthy foods, a diet including, healthy things that you ingest, healthy things that you experience, and teaching them to listen to their own wisdom in their bodies, to decipher decision making, giving them room to fall down and get up on their own. And I think that's some of the parts of society that we're missing. We don't have meals together. We eat quick foods because we're always in a rush, and really just bringing the energy down, bringing your energy right onto their level, being a kid with them. That inner child in you really helps your children. So I just did a yoga teacher training for children, and oh my gosh, we had so much fun, and we laughed, and we almost peed our pants. Oh my gosh, it was so fun. So if there's yoga for kids in your neighborhood, K-yoga, kidding around yoga, is amazing. Then I recommend it. So as they get older, I hope that helped, honey. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. Amanda writes, okay. Okay, intuition, struggling, interesting. So when we have intuition struggles, that's totally normal. We do not live in a society that teaches intuition. We are taught to turn our sixth sense off, and we are dumbing down our intuitive wisdom, our pituitary gland, with fluoride in the water. We're dumbing it down and following the masses with the amount of media we watch. Your thoughts become things. And what are our thoughts filled with? Like, we watch the news and we listen to music that's not healthy. So you're welcome. So basically, so your question about this is the struggle. Will the struggle to follow intuition become easier? Yes, it will, because it's a muscle. So the more that you use your muscles, the stronger they get, right? It's the same with your intuition muscle. We had to learn to talk. We had to learn to walk. It's totally the same. So practice little exercises using your intuition, okay? So what's a fun one? The phone, your phone dings. Nowadays, the phone hardly rings. So your phone dings, and you can play in your mind, go with the first thought, who is it that's texting you? And then see if you're right. Maybe you're going to work that day, and you can ask in your mind or your body, if, like, to play this game, who's going to be at work or whatever, right? So just play around with that. Meditation is number one, and breath work to stronger intuition. And please feel free to go to my website. I have amazing tips and tricks for free on becoming stronger intuitive people. And it's really just practice and trusting what you get. So it's that first initial, that first thought, that first idea. Go with the first feeling that you get, always. Because the ego, the mind will come in. And we're all intuitive. We all have psychic gifts. And like I said, we just deny them. So yes, that it will get easier. It will become more steady. And journaling is another really great exercise. Okay, so let's move on. What is a rainbow child? Oh, geez. So I'm not an expert in this, but thanks for asking, Chris. Rainbow children are brought down to teach us love and to bring their intuitive gifts to spread around the world. and they're very highly sensitive. So these children are so sensitive. And I'm not an expert, so I'd recommend that you Google it. Go to Doreen Virtue's site and then have a look. I hope that answered you a little bit. So they're very intuitive and they're very sensitive. And often, you know, when we're highly sensitive, we can bring in lots of energies from others. Oh, hi Megan. Thanks for coming today. I miss you, girl. Oh, trying to release control. Ugh. Okay, good one. I think we all need to hear that. So control is an illusion, right? There's nothing we can control in our lives except for our own thoughts and our actions. So when you're releasing control, it's really paramount, once again we're going to go back to meditation, that you practice the art of quieting the mind. So really forcing yourself to sit in meditation. And I find it helps when I listen to drumming. I really love like drum beats. Chanting really helps me. So that's what I would recommend for you, Megan. And then the other thing that's coming up, like I'm tapping into your energy too, and I feel the fear behind letting go of control. And this is going back to your youth when you had no control of something very traumatic. So when you have had something really traumatic as a child that you had no control over, it was devastating. And that I feel is what is truly going on. So I feel like inner child work for you would be really paramount at this time. Because that little girl inside of you, you can ask your body how old she is. We can all do this. Inner child work is really powerful for healing. So when we have major issues showing up in relationships with our children, our husbands, it's because of our relationship with self, and it's almost always related to our inner child. So if you've gone through some trauma where you've lost someone you love, you've been abused, you've been used, you've been left behind, whatever your story is, instead of going into the story, go into that child. Yes, Megan, yes, good, it feels light. Okay, great. So go to that little girl and do a little meditation and bring her to you. And I want you to take her in your arms, and I want you to love her up, and I want you to let her know that from now on you're going to be making choices for her. Because this is what we do. We act like children in our relationships, and we blow off the handle, we, are rude to someone at a till, or, have insecurities, but it's because the little girl in us or the teenager in us is coming out. I see this all the time. Okay, I gotta blow my nose, I'm sorry. It's actually quite cool. Yes, you're beautiful, Megan. Love you, girl. I'm glad that helped. So see if there's any more questions. Okay, so I'm gonna read this past life card because we all needed to hear it today. And just see what else it's bringing forth. So I am a past life regressionist, and I can do it over the phone. I prefer over the phone, Skype phone usually, for people at a distance. And in my program that I'm offering right now, I am doing past life regression. I'm sharing meditation techniques. We're talking about everything. It's amazing. Okay, so past lives. The hands of existence form the shape of the female genitals. Ooh. The opening of the cosmic mother. Revealed within are many images, faces from other times. While it might be entertaining to fantasize about famous past lives, it is just a distraction. The real point is to see and understand the karmic patterns of our lives and their roots in an endless, repetitive cycle that traps us in unconscious behavior. The two rainbow lizards on either side represent knowing and not knowing. They are the guardians of the unconscious, making sure that we are prepared for a vision that might otherwise be shattering. A glimpse into the eternity of our existence is a gift, And understanding the function of karma in our lives is not something that can be grasped at will. This is a wake-up call. The events in your life are trying to show you a pattern as ancient as the journey of your soul. This makes sense, guys. The child can become conscious only if in the past life he has meditated enough, has created enough meditative energy to fight with the darkness the death brings. One simply is lost in an oblivion and then suddenly finds a new womb and forgets completely about the old body. There is a discontinuity. This darkness, this unconsciousness creates the discontinuity. That's a big word. The East has been working hard to penetrate these barriers, and 10,000 years of work has not been in vain. Everybody can penetrate to the past life or many past lives, but for that you have to go deeper in your meditation. For two reasons. Unless you go deeper, you cannot find the door to another life. Secondly, you have to be deeper in meditation because if you find the door of another life, a flood of events will come into the mind. It is hard enough to even carry the one life. Amazing. So in this reading, it was all about empowerment and enlightenment. So in order for us to expand and really feel closer to God, in order to attract the things we truly desire, we have to let go. We have to let go of control because we're not in control. And we have to let our intuition guide us by quieting the mind. And I've read before, I love this analogy, walking around headless. So actually removing the mind and going into that heart. And by doing this, we actually teach our children how to have healthy lives. They don't need to be famous or rich. We just want them happy. And in order for them to be happy, we have to let them be. We have to let them go and be the people that they're meant to be. And the only way to do that is by living by example. So walk the walk if you're talking the talk with your children. And yeah, wow, this was really great, you guys. I'm so glad that you all came out today to join me in my beautiful yard with the chickens clucking around. And yeah, so every Wednesday, 2 o'clock, I'm here for you. I'm here to help you. So if you want to share any insights that you've had in this reading, feel free. My website was added in the comments, I think by my lovely Eleni. You're welcome, Amanda. So yeah, get my free PDF on trusting your intuition and trusting it and working on it and doing it. Hi, Renee. Glad you showed up, honey. Okay, so that's it for today. Unless anyone has any more questions, last chance. You guys are all sharing some beautiful things. Yes, the sunshine is great, Holly, but rain is always on the horizon in Terrace. We live in a rainy part of the world. I'm on the coast of British Columbia, the north coast. So it's been a beautiful day. So thank you for being here. I am going to say namaste because I am seeing the beauty in all of you as you see it in me. And I sure love you all. And my big heart gratefulness is going all out to all of ya. Okay. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming.